There are places in the world that wear their history like a grand and heavy cloak, their monuments rising in an unbroken line, their stories shouted from every piazza. And then there is Aquileia. To arrive in Aquileia today is to find yourself in a quiet, unassuming town set amidst the flat, fertile, and seemingly endless agricultural plains of Friuli-Venezia Giulia. A small, peaceful community clusters around a magnificent church and its tall, separate bell tower, which serves as the primary landmark for miles around. The air is clean, the silence broken only by the chirping of birds or the distant hum of a tractor. It feels like a place out of time, a rural idyll. But this profound tranquility is a deception. It is a green blanket of grass and soil laid over the ghost of a metropolis. The quiet town you see is but a tiny surviving fragment, a handful of residents living amidst the spectral footprint of what was once one of the largest, wealthiest, and most important cities in the entire Roman Empire. For this was Aquileia, the second Rome, a city of hundreds of thousands, a bustling river port, a military powerhouse, and a vibrant hub of global trade. Its modern humble scale is a direct consequence of a single cataclysmic event: its utter destruction at the hands of Attila the Hun. To visit Aquileia is therefore not just a journey to a town, but an act of archaeological imagination. The true city is not the one you see with your eyes, it is the one that lies just inches beneath your feet. It is a city that must be excavated, not with a shovel, but with an understanding of its immense and tragic past. It is a place of powerful beginnings, the launching point for Roman expansion and a cradle for the spread of Christianity in Europe, and of an equally powerful, violent end. Aquileia's story is a profound meditation on the rise and fall of empires, and its vast, silent ruins are one of the most poignant testaments to the glories and the fragility of civilization. The story of Aquileia begins with a strategic decision. In 181 BC, the Roman Republic, seeking to consolidate its control over northern Italy and defend against incursions from Celtic and Illyrian tribes, founded a new colony on the plains near the Nitissa River. The location was chosen with military precision. It was a bridgehead for future campaigns eastward into the Danube region and a formidable defensive bastion protecting the Italian peninsula. Aquileia was born as a fortress, its initial population a mix of Roman legionaries and their families, a statement of intent carved into the northeastern frontier of the growing empire. But its destiny would be far grander than that of a simple military outpost. Its location proved to be a gateway for commerce of unparalleled importance. The city's river port, connected by canals to the nearby Adriatic Sea, became the terminus for trade routes that stretched deep into the heart of Europe. Most famously, it was the southern end of the Amber Road, the great trade route that brought precious amber, the gold of the north, all the way from the shores of the Baltic Sea. This amber, along with other goods from the northern territories, furs, slaves, timber, flowed into Aquileia. In return, the products of Roman civilization flowed out. Aquileia itself became a major center for industrial production. Its workshops produced vast quantities of glass, pottery, and bricks. Its access to the iron resources of nearby Noricum, modern-day Austria, made it a center for metalworking and arms manufacturing. The fertile plains around it produced wine and oil that were shipped across the Mediterranean. The city became a vibrant, cosmopolitan melting pot, a place where goods, ideas, and people from across the known world converged. By the time of Emperor Augustus, Aquileia had grown into the magnificent capital of the 10th region of Italy, Venetia et Istria. It was the fourth largest city of the Italian peninsula, after Rome, Milan, and Capua, with a population that may have exceeded 100,000 at its peak. It was a splendissima colonia, a most splendid colony, graced with all the monumental architecture befitting its status. Today, these structures are mostly just foundations, vast archaeological fields that hint at the city's former scale. The heart of Roman Aquileia was its Forum, a vast rectangular public square paved with limestone slabs, surrounded by shops, temples, and the civil basilica where law was administered. A short walk from here was the massive river port, one of the best preserved examples of Roman port infrastructure in the world. One can still walk along the ancient wharves, see the stone mooring rings, and trace the foundations of the immense warehouses that once stored goods from across the empire. The scale of the port is staggering, a testament to the sheer volume of trade that sustained the city's wealth. Aquileia also boasted a circus for chariot racing, a large amphitheater for gladiatorial contests, and luxurious private villas decorated with stunning mosaic floors. It was, by any measure, a great city, a true jewel of the Roman Empire. This golden age of prosperity and power came to a sudden and brutal end in the middle of the 5th century AD. The Western Roman Empire was crumbling, and waves of barbarian invasions were sweeping across its borders. In 452 AD, the most feared of these invaders, Attila the Hun, the scourge of God, descended upon northern Italy. He laid siege to Aquileia. The city, protected by its strong walls, resisted fiercely. The siege dragged on, and a frustrated Attila was reportedly on the verge of abandoning his campaign. According to the 6th century historian Jordanes, a legend arose to explain what happened next. As Attila considered his retreat, he noticed that the storks nesting in the city's towers were suddenly taking flight, carrying their young with them out of the city. He interpreted this as a powerful omen. The birds, sensing impending doom, were abandoning the city. His resolve hardened. He renewed the assault with ferocious intensity, and his Huns finally breached the walls. What followed was a cataclysm. Attila's forces utterly destroyed Aquileia, sacking it, burning it, and massacring or enslaving its population. The destruction was so thorough that, for a time, it was said that one could barely even see where the great city had once stood. The fall of Aquileia was a pivotal moment in European history, an event whose consequences would ripple across the centuries. The survivors who managed to escape the destruction fled into the inaccessible marshes and lagoons of the nearby coastline. Here, on small muddy islands, they established new, safer settlements. This desperate flight of refugees from Aquileia and the surrounding plains was the foundational event in the birth of another great city, Venice. The magnificent, water-born republic that would one day rule a maritime empire was born from the ashes and the trauma of Aquileia's demise. Venice is, in a profound sense, the beautiful, improbable child of Aquileia's tragic end. Though its physical form was annihilated, the idea of Aquileia, its spiritual importance, proved far more resilient. Long before its destruction, the city had become one of the most important centers of Christianity in Western Europe. According to a powerful local tradition, the faith was first brought to Aquileia by Saint Mark the Evangelist himself, who is said to have preached here on his way to Rome. He converted a local man named Ermagarus, who became the city's first bishop, and along with his deacon Fortunatus, was eventually martyred for his faith. This direct link to the apostolic age gave the Church of Aquileia immense prestige. Even as the physical city lay in ruins, its bishop retained his authority and influence. In the turbulent centuries that followed the fall of Rome, the Bishop of Aquileia became a major political and religious power broker. In the 6th century, he officially adopted the title of Patriarch, a rank equal to that of the great sees of Rome, Constantinople, Alexandria, and Antioch. The Patriarchate of Aquileia became a vast and powerful ecclesiastical state, a second empire, that was spiritual rather than military. For over 1,000 years, the patriarchs of Aquileia ruled over a territory that stretched from northern Italy into modern-day Slovenia, Croatia, and Austria, often challenging the authority of the Pope in Rome himself. The story of Aquileia is thus a tale of two great empires. First, the Roman city, a world of commerce, law, and military might, a metropolis that grew to immense size and wealth before being violently erased from history. Second, the spiritual empire of the patriarchs, a world of faith, art, and ecclesiastical power that rose from the ruins and endured for 1,000 years. Today, the small, quiet town of Aquileia is the guardian of both these legacies. Its power now lies in its silence, its emptiness, and the immense, sleeping history that is contained within its soil. It is a place that requires a different kind of seeing. The Grand Roman Forum is now a vast open field of grass, its columns and foundations mapping out a ghostly blueprint of its former glory. The once bustling river port is a quiet canal, its stone wharfs now a place for peaceful reflection. The true city is the one that you must reconstruct in your mind, aided by the magnificent artifacts in the National Archaeological Museum and the sheer scale of the ruins. Aquileia is a profound lesson in the impermanence of power and the resilience of faith, a place where the ghosts of a great metropolis still whisper in the quiet Friulian air.